Hanımlar, beyler, hepinize saygı ve sevgilerimizi iletiyoruz. Bugün 27 Haziran 2024 ve TÜREB ile Yeşildeniz programının dördüncüsüyle karşınızdayız. Bildiğiniz gibi TÜREB olarak Türkiye'nin deniz üstü rüzgar potansiyeli farkındalığını arttırmayı, bu alanda bakanlıklarımız, Sanayi ve Teknoloji Bakanlığımız, Enerji ve Tabii Kaynaklar Bakanlığımız tarafından yürütülen çalışmalara katkı sunmayı amaçlıyoruz, hedefliyoruz. Aynı zamanda yapacağımız programlarla Türkiye'nin deniz üstü rüzgar alanındaki tabiri caizse bir fotoğrafını çekmek, bu alanda ileride karşılaşabileceğimiz zorlukları ve bunları aşma yollarını konuklarımızla konuşmayı hedefliyoruz. Bunların hepsini bugünkü programımda Wind Energy Hub Poland'ın Deputy CEO'su, Başkan Yardımcısı Doktor Arkadyusz SEKSCINSKI ile konuşacağız. Bugünkü programda sadece her zamanki gibi yine giriş ve kapanışı Türkçe dilinde yapacağım, çift dilde yapacağım. Programın geri kalanı İngilizce dilinde olacak. Programımızı YouTube'a aktarırken Türkçe altyazımızı da ekliyor olacağız. Ladies and gentlemen, today is June 27th, 2024, and we are here with the fourth episode of our program, Power of the Wind, Offshore Energy Insights. With this program, we plan to raise awareness of Turkey's offshore wind energy potential and contribute to the work that is done by our ministries, Ministry of Energy and Ministry of Industry. At the same time, we aim to take a picture of Turkey in the field of offshore wind energy and discuss challenges we may face in the future. Today, we will discuss these with Dr. Arkadyusz SEKSCINSKI. He is the Deputy CEO at the Wind Energy Hub Poland. Welcome, Arkadyusz. Thank you for accepting our invitation. I would like to start with my...
Good morning.
Hi, good morning. I would like to start with my first question. Could you please introduce yourself and tell us about your journey in the offshore wind energy industry?
Of course, good morning once again, and thank you very much for inviting me to this program. It's very interesting, so it's so nice to be in this fourth episode with you, Ufuk. Just to introduce myself, I would say that my journey with the energy sector has started in 2008. Firstly, I was just involved in regulatory affairs for energy sector, working for some Polish and foreign companies. And after 2-3 years, I recognized that my heart is very green. I had some relations with Polish Wind Energy Association, and I got the offer to work for the Polish Wind Energy Association, and that was 2010. So more than 14 years ago. So I also am happy that with the brother association, Turkish association, we are in a good relation. And after 5 years working for the association, talking about the wind, I decided to jump into the business. So I was working for the biggest Polish utilities, PGE, Polish Energy Group, for the Orlen, other oil and gas multi-energy utility in Poland. So in those companies, for more than 8 years, I was working on onshore wind development, but also on offshore wind development. So I remember that I have really started with the offshore in 2016. Because as a PGE we had 3 seabeds, those leases on the Baltic Sea. Those leases were, to be honest, just waiting, because we got them as the company in 2012, but we really started development, those first real steps 3 years later, 4 years later. And now PGE and Orlen are finishing this development phase. So we can talk, we can see how long it takes, the development, especially if these are, let's say, first wind farms in Poland. After something like 8 years, you can got all the permits, you can be ready for the final investment decision to move to building phase. So last 8 years was with offshore very much, and I can tell you more if you like how it worked in Poland.
Okay. Yes, that would be great. So since you've already been in the both sides, onshore and offshore, could you please provide some statistics regarding the wind energy market, both the installed power targets pipeline and also maybe about the manufacturing capacity of Poland?
Of course. So the onshore wind has started, of course, much earlier. I think the crucial point was when Poland got to become a member of European Union, and there was this support scheme introduced. We had these green certificates. Today we have CFD, and basing of green certificates support scheme and contract for difference system, which is today, we have right now 8.8 gigawatts installed of onshore wind farms. The pipeline today is around 2.3 gigawatts for the onshore wind. Let's be honest that in last years the Polish authorities decided to freeze onshore wind because there were this kind of regulations introduced, like a distance law, which made it much more difficult to install onshore wind farms. And these goals by the previous government were not ambitious for wind. New government, which we have since December last year, is promising, saying that they want to come back what they were supporting where they were first time governing 8 years ago. So to put on the track, the fast track, the onshore wind. And what it was sent to European Union as a plan for Poland is to have 14 gigawatts in the onshore wind by 2030 and 20 gigawatts by 2040. So this we recognize as pretty ambitious goals, but behind those goals, behind those nice targets, there is also a need to do the fast track with the permitting. Answering to your question, Ufuk, about the industry, I would say that the onshore wind looks from this point of view pretty good in Poland, as kind of 50% of supply chain is Polish. We still see a gap that could be fulfilled more by the local content, but it's still promising or good if we especially compare that to the offshore wind, because today having like the coast, the harbors, the shipyards, and all this business which could be involved into offshore wind, the supply chain of our local companies is pretty small. Let's be honest. So that's why, as a wind industry hub, we also work on that very much, and we are also very pleased when these kind of big companies like Vestas and others come to Poland to open their factories, and it has already started this kind of situation. So there are some also Spanish companies with the fundaments, with the part of wind turbines on our coast, and that could be also a track to have benefit for our industry. And just last words about the statistic, because I didn't say about the offshore wind numbers. So we have so-called first phase, which is 5.9 gigawatts. And this 5.9 gigawatts is already between various of companies, which are developing the farms. So the leader is Polish Energy Group, our local utility, with two projects which are in partnership with Ørsted, with the Danish utility. There is also other Polish utility, multi-energy company, which is, I would say, first, because they already did the final investment decision. They have a partnership with Northland Power, Canadian company, and they started to build their wind farm, 1.2 gigawatts. And there are also other projects of one Polish private utility with Equinor. There is also a small project of RWE, and a project of ocean wind, and this is 5.9 gigawatts under the development, or like Orlen already under the construction. And there were also second phase with the new seabeds, new leases on the Baltic Sea, and all of those leases got PGE 5 and Orlen 5. And frankly speaking, probably it will just right now start to discuss about those partnerships, because as I mentioned, all the projects are between all Polish companies with some foreign investors, experienced investors. So that second phase is approximately 11 gigawatts, and we recognize it as ambitious, but if we take the technical and general potential for our part of Baltic Sea, I mean Polish part of Baltic Sea, as the Polish Wind Association, as a wind industry hub, we recognize it much bigger potential, yes, 33. But one issue is technical potential. The other issue is to achieve what we have from this phase 1 and phase 2. And frankly speaking, I am very pleased that we started, this, and I am very pleased to see these results after those few years. I mean, like 8 years of doing offshore wind in Poland, because it's not easy path, yes, if you compare that with onshore business. So that's why it's so important to start earlier than later, because the benefits will be surely big benefits for energy security, for the industry, and all these big things which are important for energy sector.
Yes, I agree with you. Thank you very much for the statistics. I think your market is very similar to Turkey. It seems the numbers are very close, and we can also manufacture up to like 55-60% with local content as well. But we are far behind at offshore right now, because we haven't distributed any capacities yet. So then, before the session, during our conversation, you mentioned that the first land lease was done in 2012 for the exploration. And it's been so long, like 12 years, and you just started the construction for one of them, as you mentioned. So what are the challenges experienced from the date that Polish government decided that they're gonna support the offshore wind until there is an actual pipeline with the parcels, and then looking at the future, what challenges do you expect until Poland has its first operational wind farm? I'm sure you will have it soon, which is under construction. But do you see any challenges for the others on the pipeline, or do you expect them to be online soon?
Thank you, Ufuk, for the question. Before I answer, I would say, as I look at Turkey, Turkey is always a very ambitious country. Yes, when you start to do something, you go this direction and you are very good. Yes, like with the onshore wind, at least as I know some figures, and so on. and we know all how the energy system is complex. Yes, there is nuclear, there is still fossil fuels like gas, coal, and so on, so on. So this world changes all the time, moving forward. And years ago, offshore was not so competitive. If you compare it, I don't know, 10, 12 years ago with the onshore. Today, if you look at the load factor, if you look at the technology of the wind, you see that it's a high time. So I'm pleased that there was this idea, at least this idea with the seabeds of leases and so on. And later on, companies were encouraged to go to that business because it's a business. But of course, it was so important to work on the regulations. Yes, to, like I mentioned very quickly, that with the onshore business, we had those regulations a little bit like copy paste because we joined European Union. Yes, with the offshore, we started much more later. Because this support scheme for the onshore wind or PV or something else was not so how to say suitable, for the offshore. It has to be more dedicated. So the companies started to work on the development in 2015, 16, 17, and at the same time, government started to work on the regulations. Yes, and we see how it also goes in European Union and in Europe as such. Yes, that because we had this aggression of Russia, it's still this aggression of Russia on Ukraine. COVID and so on. So all this supply chain became a challenge, but at the same, it's an advantage that you start to think that, okay, so maybe I should work more locally about my energy security, and offshore doing big projects, gigawatts, not only megawatts, can bring that values. So talking about challenges, because you asked about challenges, of course, we can talk a lot, yes, but that there is this kind of challenge with the bottleneck of suppliers, like I have mentioned, yes, that in Poland we don't have those suppliers so much for the offshore like we have established for the onshore. These tier one contracts, if you take WTGs, it's few companies, yes, Siemens Gamesa, GE, Vestas. If you take fundaments, yes, if you take the vessels, which is a big challenge. So this is kind of maybe not a problem, yes, but what is the answer for that? That's more important, yes. The answer should be all hands on the deck, and we have to support industry also to participate in that, so they will also get benefits. And capex, of course, was increasing during these challenges which I mentioned, like COVID or Russian aggression on Ukraine, and so on. Our harbors, at least in Poland, are not so much ready to be used to install the fundaments or wind turbines. So, for example, the Bornholm island will be used for that. But again, what is the answer for that? Just wait and look at that, or be more involved, because, as I said, this is a first phase in Poland. So we also still learn how to benefit the most. Yes. And we are beneficial from that. I can tell you that even we have programs that miners from the hard coal or lignite coal start to work in the onshore and offshore business in Poland. So it's like really a supply chain of many benefits for the for the industry, for the society, for the local municipalities. But don't forget, we are in the energy business. In the end, it is about energy security, to have a stable, really strong source of green electricity for Poland.
Yes, you're right. We need to focus on the energy security aspect as well. So it's not always about the price, but also we want clean and secure energy. We discussed about the technical challenges, but developing an offshore wind farm is not always only about engineering or the securing the finance. We need to design wind farms that can coexist with the environment, and we need to engage all stakeholders affected by the construction, could be affected by the constructions, like the local people, fisheries, etc. So what lessons can you share with us on this very important topic?
Mm-hmm. This is very important to have on the board people who will be, let's say, affected by those wind farms. Yes, because like you, we have a coast. Your coast is much longer, bigger. You have access to few seas. So you cannot forget about those people who live there. And frankly speaking, when I was doing this part of development, I was also learning and going to other countries like Denmark, Germany. My last study visit was to France, to Saint-Nazaire on the Atlantic coast. And what I have learned also from the other markets, it was like you need to bring a lot of information about those projects, give these people the information, and people are, of course, intelligent. Yes, some of them are encouraged and see what can be beneficial for me from that business. Yes, like I was learning that from France, that they start to work about some small vessels, to do the operation maintenance in the future. Yes, so same I see in Poland. Yes, that not only this big issue of harbors to install is interesting, yes, for the local companies to do it, to build it, and so on, but small operation maintenance harbor with the staff responsible for the service of the wind farm is interesting for them. Yes, so fisheries are not asking only, okay, how much money you will pay me to compensate that I could fish and maybe I will not be able. Then you see in the regulation that it's not so conservative that they cannot fish. Yes, it's about also security of them and of the wind farm. But they see, okay, but maybe we could also use this new business for us. So it's really much about the information and discussion with those people. We see very good discussion which we have with the universities, with the technical universities, maritime universities, because the other challenge is the staff. It's the people that can work in that business who are not, let's be honest, prepared. Yes, because in Poland we don't have this big oil and gas experience. Yes, like Norway with Equinor, even Ørsted. Yes, our partner for PGE, local utility, we don't have it. So and universities and companies and the government really did good job to open some courses, the departments, in at these schools to work on that, to prepare the staff, to teach the engineers, and of course, I think from the broader perspective that it's really good to have pretty big ambitions, because if the ambitions, the numbers, I mean the figures of goals for this offshore wind are not so big, then it's not so attractive for the foreign companies, which can bring a lot of value to start these offshore programs for such countries like Poland and Turkey. Of course, you have to be very careful, yes, because it must be beneficial for you, yes, mostly for you. But I see these benefits also coming from the experienced companies, because in this offshore business, you know how much money you have to invest, capex, opex, yes. So to reduce this risk that you do something wrong, yes, it's also so important. That's why attracting foreign companies to look at this new emerging market, in my opinion, is important, and we are beneficial from that to Polish companies, because we get this know-how. Because it's not a secret that when we get know-how, we want to participate more and more, yes, by the local content, by the local companies. So the lesson learned, I would say, look at the other markets. Really look at the other markets. I think we could look even more. There is a lot of going on in the European Union markets. Now there is this big discussion about non-price criteria, that not only price for the megawatt hour is give you the result who build the wind farm, but also non-price criteria, like exactly the benefits for society, benefits for the industry, and others. So we look at the markets like Belgium, Netherlands, Norway, which is outside of European Union, and you can see, yes, what is good or what could be done in a different way. Start earlier than later, yes. Like I mentioned, not only about this big, let's say, picture of development, how long it takes, because all these things you have to do in the development, like in the onshore business, with the birds, with the geological works, with the geophysical works. This is much more work than on the onshore, yes. The power evacuation and so on. But even the stuff, as I said, Turkey is this very ambitious country with intelligent people, yes. So you have good engineers, yes. But if you start too late, then you will need these foreign companies, yes, which can bring you this value. But probably it's not the key point, yes.
Exactly. And I totally support that, what you mentioned about engaging the locals. A couple of weeks ago, I paid a visit to Aberdeen, Scotland, and we visited a port, O&M port there. And the port was non-profit. So all the profit they make was going back to the local municipalities for investments. And also they were investing in their own business as well, growing the port. So it's very important that locals living there also getting some financial benefit from the projects. Thank you very much, Arkadiusz. I will ask one more question, but I want to thank you that you took this break from your vacation to join our session. Before we close, do you have any more advices to the Turkish authorities to help them achieve the goal of 5 gigawatt by 2035?
My advice would be to be open-minded, like you mentioned a few times, Ufuk, that you paid a visit here, you learned this from the other market. So learn from the other markets, and then do it on your Turkish way, as you are good at that. So I mean, when you decide that it's a time to start, really, it's a time to start to work about regulations, and then I am afraid that you can be so fast that next time when we meet, you will be building the wind farm.
Hopefully. Thanks again, and I hope that our collaboration with the Wind Energy Hub Poland strengthens every day. We have reached the end of our conversation. Arkadiusz, your insights have been incredibly valuable, and we appreciated your sharing them with us today. And a big thank you as well to Mesut Kılıç for organizing this webinar series. Let's keep these important discussions about the future of offshore wind energy going, and have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Ufuk. Thank you very much, everybody from the Turkish Wind Energy Association, to having me with you. And we stay in touch, of course. Have a good day.
You too. Değerli izleyenler, teşekkür ediyoruz. Programın başlangıç bölümünü kaçıranlar olduysa kaydını söylediğim gibi sosyal medya hesaplarımızda paylaşacağız. Ve burada altyazı da olacak İngilizce bölümler için. TÜREB olarak rüzgarın olduğu her yerde olmaya devam edeceğiz. Bir sonraki programa kadar görüşmek üzere. Sağlıklı günler diliyoruz.